Hey there, my name is Brett Farrell, founder of the Farrell Group, your favorite lead gen agency, and also home to the Million Person List. So in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about how to build a list from scratch. You already have a business, so just understand, in this video, we wanna talk about you have a business, but you don't have a list. And another video, we're gonna talk about no business, no list. What do you do? But this one, let's talk about what your service is or your product. Let's talk about your theme, and let's talk about what you can do to get people into your email provider and actually get people signing up regularly so you can build that community and actually start monetizing that list month after month. So the first step, aside from all the technical details, we're not going to get into the nuances. You need an email provider. You need to go ahead and sign up. Just starting out from scratch, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, anything like that, that'll get you started. That'll get the rubber to the road and get you moving in the right direction. You also need to look at what you have currently. Where are your customers coming from? That is one of the biggest things. You need to ask yourself, where are your customers coming from? And also, how, like, not just how are they finding you, but what do they love about your service? Okay? And so in this video, again, we're talking about you are already having a successful amount of customers, but you, for whatever reason, haven't gone into the lead gen part of your business and start growing the equity within your company built through this community or this list. So here's what you do. You ask and do your deep dive survey to your own customers about what they love most about your product. They're already buying with you and they've already pulled out their credit card. So essentially they're already going to be willing to take it another step and actually give you some feedback on what the number one thing about your service is. You need to create a theme. You need to create an idea around what you embody. Okay? So if you're a videographer, for instance, and you specifically have clients that you serve and you do video services for them, the one thing that you need to understand is that your tactics, your tricks, your learned skill sets, your positioning of the camera, your lighting, your shading, your actual editing, all these are tactics that people who don't have your repertoire, your expertise, your reposé, whatever you want to call it, you are someone who has learned through failure. And so what you want to do more than anything is find out what is your sexy factor. Really, what is that thing that is making you that much more different than everybody else? And you need to give that away in some kind of blueprint. Here's off the cuff. If you are the videographer, you want to give the top 5 most important filming tactics that completely change how video looks from, call it, weirdness and amateur to professional and expert. So if you give away your 5 best tactics, the thing is, most people, and I just want you to understand this across the board, people love things, but most people don't take action on those things. So even though that you're giving away some of your best stuff, whether it's as a videographer, giving a video series or a tutorial breakdown on how to use Final Cut, or actually specifically how to use Adobe Premiere, or how to do editing, how to do shading, how to actually do Adobe After Effects, where you're actually putting like lower thirds on the video to make it more professional, make it pop. These are all just informational approaches that you need to put together some kind of product that people can submit their email for. What can you productize through your genius that makes people say, I need that. I am filming right now and I need that. So then guess what? In that token, create that thing, which we're calling a lead magnet. The second that you figure out what you serve your audience with, and that the thing that they want more than anything, the thing that they're like, man, I'm gonna have times where I need to film myself, but I wanna know what your secret sauce is. Give them your secret sauce, but make it so that they can download it, they can read it, they can follow it, or they can watch it. You can do a 3-part video series, you can do whatever thing that you want, but understand whatever that thing is has specific instructions on how for them to accomplish X, okay? Now, that's the part that's going to grab them, essentially magnetize them in. That is what's going to start building your list. But where do you get the people? Easy. You're usually going to get most of your organic traffic either from your website or how you might be finding this video here, YouTube. YouTube is the second largest, if not now the largest search engine in the world. If you do your due diligence and tag your videos as you should, people are going to be searching and they're going to come across your videos, which in turn then drive people to your lead magnet, which then builds your list. The greatest thing about YouTube is that once you put it up there, people are going to organically actually like see this and you know, naturally come over. And if you do your job and you actually warm them up well enough with your expertise in this explanation video, then they're going to want to download, they're going to want to come onto your list, they're going to want to subscribe to you, and they're also going to want to hear more from you in the future. So if you're probably wondering if in this example as a filmmaker, what thing you're going to talk about on YouTube that you aren't talking about in the blueprint, you talk about the same thing, but you piece it out. If you're giving the 5 biggest tips and tactics that you need to use for Final Cut Pro that you give away in this one lead magnet, you make 5 videos and put all 5 videos on YouTube and then point them to that. You've just pieced it together in a different content sense and give them the ability to get the answers they want, but you, more importantly than anything, you have to tag it appropriately. You have to make it so that it's not something that you are like phrasing it as, but rather how your audience would search it. Again, I'm going to say that again. Do not tag it as an expert. Write your descriptions and your titles of your videos, this is specifically on YouTube, how your audience would search you. Okay, it might be the most incorrect grammar. It might be the most odd way of doing this. For instance, if we're doing like list building 101, I'm not going to necessarily tag my video as list building 101. I'm going to tag as how to build a list. So imagine if somebody's sitting at YouTube, at Google, at wherever their search engine is or coming across these things, how would you think if they're in a mindset of pain and issue of they're searching, they're researching, how would your audience research you and come across you? So in this specific situation, as a quick summation, to build your list from scratch, the fastest way possible without spending a single dime on direct Facebook traffic, which in my opinion, I feel is probably the most efficient route of targeting an audience, targeting your audience, the people who are going to want your lead tool and buy your services, go right to Facebook advertising. That's me, okay? But say if you don't want to spend a dime or you actually are, you're balling on a budget, this is how you do it, all right? You go, you make a fantastic lead tool after you know exactly what your audience wants. You get a very clear definition of what your biggest and best giveaway could actually be. You make it downloadable. You put it on a lead page, ClickFunnels, lead pages, something of that nature. Put a gate behind it, essentially require them to put their name and email in exchange for that downloadable piece, whether that is a lead magnet of a blueprint or a checklist or whatever that happens to be. Drive direct traffic from YouTube. Use YouTube as your caveat, as your driving force. And then what you end up doing now is you just have an incredible amount of content on YouTube, showing off your expertise. People are starting to believe in you, like you know what you're talking about, and then from there you actually drive them into this lead tool, and then the next thing you know, your list is organically growing because YouTube, as you have it, it never goes away. And then from there, people are finding you for years to come, and your list is growing without you actually paying a dime. So, on that note, if you'd like to get a blueprint, or what we're calling our 7-figure list building checklist, we actually have our own blueprint for you to grab for free as well. And so, in this specific situation, this is our method, this is our tactic for actually growing our list and serving you on things that we hope that you would love as well. If you want to go ahead and click the link below, that checklist is there for you for free to go ahead and grab. It breaks down all the tactics we use for all of our lead tools, for all of our assessments, for everything that we have ever done with lead generation for our own in-house offers and all of our agency clients as well. This is our blueprint we look to check off to make sure we've got everything locked in before we actually go live and launch. If this sounds like this could be something that could serve you and your business, I highly recommend you scroll on down. The link is just below. Click it and please go grab it. So thank you again. Really appreciate you tuning in. Would really appreciate also if you subscribe to this channel, like this video, unlike it, thumbs down if you don't like it, but I just appreciate you if you comment as well. Tell us a little bit about your tactics that you've used for building lists. I respond to all the comments personally myself. Thank you again. My name is Brett Farrell with the Farrell Group. I appreciate you tuning in. Take care and have a chance to, if you have a chance, go ahead and check out some of my other videos as well. We've got links below and all on the right-hand side. Thank you again, and you take care. Bye-bye.